Hi, I'm Bill Donohue, president of the Catholic League. Joining me today is policy analyst Leigh. I want to address something that's in the news. It's the media reaction to the Trump administration firing a number of people in the FBI who were out of line during the Biden years. So it's really interesting to see how the media are stretching themselves, looking for any reason whatsoever to criticize the Trump administration for firing these guys as opposed to the Biden administration, which employed them. There was a Catholic spy ring going on.
Yeah, Bill, this was something we addressed a little while ago, but for the audiences, can you give us a little bit of a background of history of what's been going on?
Yeah, it's been going on for a number of years under the Biden administration. They said they were investigating traditional Catholics of a radical stripe. I said at the time, that's not really the case. They're going to go after mainline Catholics. I was proven right. How do I know that? Because the FBI admitted it. In fact, Christopher Wray, the FBI director, said that he was appalled by it, and Garland, the Attorney General, said he was aghast as well. So it's not just me who's objecting to it. They weren't going after fringe Catholics. They were going after mainline Catholics. To be exact, they referred as domestic terrorists people who are practicing Catholics. To be specific, they said if you're pro-life, pro-family, and you believe that there are only two sexes, that means that you're a domestic terrorist. They didn't call Antifa, the urban thugs, domestic terrorists. They called domestic Catholics, domestic terrorist Catholics who are practicing their faith. That's how far gone the FBI went. Now, the media picked up on an Inspector General report, which I read. They're correct to say that Inspector General Michael Horowitz, a few years ago, concluded that while there was insufficient evidence to have an investigation, there was no malicious intent. Well, excuse me, there was an intent. The question is whether it's malicious or not. So I guess if it's not malicious, then it's pure stupidity. Here's something people need to understand. Where was the evidence on the part of the FBI that Catholics, mainline Catholics, whoever, were involved in acts of violence to warrant such a probe? You know what the evidence was, Sean? One person. Defendant A. There was no defendant B, never mind C, D, E, and F. One person. By the way, that one person wasn't even Catholic. Mm-hmm. He belonged to some screwball breakaway organization, which nobody ever heard of. So quite frankly, here you have the FBI have an investigation of practicing Catholics, people in the pews. They wanted to go national with the scope. They had several offices in play at that time, simply because you're pro-life and you believe in traditional moral values. And it's based on one person who's not even Catholic. As I pointed out, it'd be like the Trump administration have an investigation of Muslims because of one crazy guy who wasn't even a Muslim. Now, the media would go crazy if something like that happened. This is just one more example, not only of the FBI doing wrong by Catholics under the Biden administration, but by attempts today, even today in 2026, of some members of the media, like the New York Times and MS Now, trying to say that, well, there really wasn't anything to this in the first place, and the Trump administration is overreacting by firing. How do you think they'd feel, Sean, if it was the Trump administration going after Muslims because of one guy, and he wasn't even a Muslim? Would they go for that?
They'd be losing their minds on the streets.
They'd be losing their minds. They'd be going bonkers. Yeah. I mean, this is beyond risible. It's contemptuous. So people, take a look at what we've had to say today. It's up on our website to get more detailed information. I was in contact with Jim Jordan, the chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, for a couple of years on this. And by the way, he was excellent. We have no problem with Jim Jordan. We have a problem with some members of the media and clearly with the FBI under Biden, not today.